Hi guys, welcome back to Irish Footy Vlogs. Welcome back to another video of ours. This is your roundup review of the Premier Division games over the course of the weekend. We're going to start off with the Belfield Bowl, where UCD had a very important win against Cork City, winning by 1-0. Kieran Bean scoring after 54 seconds with a wonderful strike from outside the box to beat Jimmy Corcoran. Real clean strike by Behan, who's been probably their best attacker this season, UCD. But a massive win for UCD and a disappointment from Cork. But UCD are on 5 points now, Cork on 9. So even this early, it felt like they needed a result here. Cork will be disappointed because I think if Cork could have got even a point and brought it back down to Cork, it would have been seen as, a good result. They're keeping UCD at arm's length, so to speak. But they seemed outsourced in this game, Cork. Concentration seemed to be low. They're passing across the back. They gave the ball away umpteen times to UCD unchallenged, which is disappointing. And Behan actually had a strike in the second half, which I think hit the post. Definitely hit the post, but I'm not sure if Corcoran got a fingertip to it or not from outside the box. All came from Cork messing around at the back, and they were all out sorts, Cork, after a brilliant win against Dundalk. But UCD be delighted with the win. They haven't scored many goals this season at all, UCD. Sam Todd is still injured and be out for a couple of weeks, so he's a big loss as well. But they'll be delighted with the win, and keeps it intriguing at the bottom of the table as well. UCD winning at Cork. I suppose, Dundalk was their first win in 5. They'll be disappointed with this, and it shows they have a lot of work to do. I still think they have a lot of, if you like, maybe they've too many players from the first division squad last year, if I'm completely honest with you. It is a big jump, and I think the Premier is stronger at the bottom end this season, if you like, and it's probably a bit weaker at the top end, which is why the table is so close. But UCD, they'll be delighted with that. Keeps them in the hunt, I guess. And big win for them. Kieran Behan has got a couple of goals this season. He likes shooting from distance as well, so he's a player to keep an eye on as well. And they'll be looking for him in the next couple of weeks to really, I suppose, get UCD in the score sheet more often than not. At Tallaght Stadium now, Shamrock Rovers are obviously on a good run. It looked like they turned things around with a couple of good wins in a row after a bad start to the season, winning in Dundalk, winning in Bows, and then winning at home to UCD. I thought they were a banker for this game, I won't lie. But Shelbourne turned up and managed to grab a point in a game where they could have got all 3, really. They were 2-0 up in this game. Graham Burke's strange OG after 18 minutes giving them the lead. And then Manny Smith in 51, a fantastic goal. Brilliant counter-attacking goal, as good as you see anywhere. Cleared away. Moylan does brilliantly, does all the work. But Smith gets up with him, and Moylan plays a lovely ball across Smith. Shows great composure to place it into the corner and beat Alman. So give Shelbourne a 2-0 lead, and what looked like could have been a big 3 points. But I think the key, crucial thing in this game was Graham Burke scored with 3 minutes later after Shells had gone 2 up. And a typical Graham Burke strike from outside the box into the top corner. Brilliant goal for him, his 6th goal of the season. And then Roberto Lopez on as a sub. Probably isn't quite fit enough yet, but they'll be hoping to get him fit soon, because I think to me it misses leadership at the back, and it was a lovely header to make it 2-2 in 77. Shells be disappointed with the defending though. It was a set piece free kick, and Lopez did a couple of players over on that side, Shamrock Rovers, whereas Shelbourne should seem to be picking up very well. Paddy Barrett was the furthest across, but he was the only man up against maybe 2 or 3 players pretty much. Shelbourne were disappointed that they didn't shift across actually, and there was an overload there, and Shamrock Rovers took advantage of that. But technically a good point for Shelbourne. It is really a good point for Shelbourne where they are in the league. They'll be happy enough where they are in the league with the points they've accrued, I think. But when you go 2 up against anybody in the second half, you're disappointed to come away with a point, I guess. But Shamrock Rovers will be happy that they did get back and get a point, but they won't be happy with the performance, particularly in the first half. They know they need to do better, because they have got the best squad in the league, in my opinion, still, and are still favourites to win the league, in my personal opinion. But they can't afford to be doing what they did there too often, like they've done, particularly Tallaght Stadium this season, which is strange. Funnily enough, their away record seems to be better so far this season. They've had a few funny results at home, like they drew 4-4 at home to Cork, where they were lucky. Obviously drew at home to Pats. But their wins, bar UCD, have come away from home. So they'll be looking to improve their form at Tallaght Stadium, which has been so impressive in the last few years, really, in Europe and in the league domestically. So That's something they need to improve on. Shelbourne do often play very defensive, but in this game they didn't, and you just wonder, Shamrock Rovers still are technically the best team in the league. If Shelbourne could play a bit more expansive in their other games as well, there's no reason why they can't. I've said it before, I think they've got a fluid attack with the likes of Smith and Moylan. If Farrell plays there, sometimes he plays in different positions, of course, as well, and it's a very fluid attack, and that can suit certain type of games, and that obviously without Sean Boyd at the moment as well, their target man. So they are playing. Well, Levy's another one who can come in there as well, and I'm probably missing someone else at the top of my head, but technically a very good result for Shelbourne. They would have taken that before the game, I've no doubt about it. And as I said, Shamrock Rovers will be a bit disappointed with that, to be fair. And it leaves Shamrock Rovers' position, they're fourth on the table on 15 points. It's funny, isn't it? 10 games gone. Imagine having 3 wins in 10 games and being fourth in the league. And likewise, imagine being top after 10 games and having 3 defeats. So that's how tight it is and how inconsistent every team is in reality. But Shamrock Rovers 2, Shelbourne 2 at Tala Stadium. There are only 3 games on Friday night, which is unusual. Of course, the Derry, we'll get to that in a while, and Dundalk game and Oriel was changed, but we'll get to Bohemians and Pats, which it was the game I was at, matchday vlog out and that, so check that out, guys. And finished Bohemians 2, St Patrick's Athletic 3, and it's Bohemians' second defeat at home in as many games. Pats have now won 4 on the bounce, unbeaten in 5, and are sensationally up to second. About a month ago they were second bottom, so it just shows how we can flip. But Pats were without Joe Redmond and Mulroney going into this game, and I felt that could be difficult, particularly the back with Joe Redmond missing his organisational skills. I think they've struggled a bit the back this season anyway, so without him I thought they could have been in trouble, and I suppose they kind of were in trouble. Linus made some really good saves in this match, and I think whereas he's done well for Pats, he's been asked to do too much in his game so far, it has to be said. And in the first half, I thought Pats looked more comfortable in possession of the ball in the midfield area, and Chris Forrester was running the show. Pats targeted Bowles right back, Ben, big time. They tried to overload with Breslin, Doyle, and Forrester was kind of shifting across in the middle of the left of the pitch, if you like, and they were overloading there and causing serious problems. But Aaron McDonald gives Bowles the lead with an absolute screamer in 15 minutes. The volley, Linus got a touch, believe it or not, but unbelievable volley. Was left foot to give Bowles the lead. Bowles had chances. Dylan Connolly had a chance there, very good chance as well, which was saved as well. And Pats, as I said, looked more confident in possession, and again a bit like the Rovers won against Shells, Pats equalised fairly quickly through Chris Forrester's corner in 20 minutes. Bowles will be disappointed how they conceded that. I think Talbot will be very disappointed with how he conceded that, but Chris Forrester won't mind. 4 minutes later, Jay McClelland made it 2-1 after a brilliant ball in from Breslin, meshed by McClelland, who got into the box to give Pats the lead. And then on 31, an excellent move. Jamie Lennon was very well, actually. A 1-2 with, oh God, I can't remember who it was, but he played a lovely 1-2. Might have been Sam Curtis, I can't remember. But a lovely ball in behind Owen Doyle. Hits it first time. Decent save from Talbot, and Mark Doyle is there to capitalise and make it 3-1. Again, I'd question the ball's right back there. And Pats were flying at this stage. Mark Doyle probably felt he should have made a 4-1 with a header, which went over. Afalabi had a chance saved then from Linus. So it was just a mental half. Flores gets sent off right in half time, and there was a debate of this at the time, but if you've seen the replay in proper, there's no debate at all. Young Billy was at the game. He said he seen it and it was a definite red. I didn't see it. Seen the replay, definite red, no complaints. And you think 3-1 up half time, Pats at Daleyman Park, 10 men, that they'll coast the second half. And I think that was half the problem. They tried to coast the second half instead of doing what they were doing well. They got very, very casual. And when you get casual, it's hard to switch back on, to be honest. Dean Williams came on and finished superbly in 65 minutes after great play from James Clark, who was brilliant when he came on for Bowles. And Pats made a number of subs, and none of them really made an impact. And Forrester was shifted more wide, and his influence then waned a bit because he was taken out of the middle of the park, in my personal opinion. And they had a chance after that. I think, was it Dean Williams or Connolly? Might have been Connolly that had a chance. It was straight at Linus, and that was a great chance for 3-3. Tom Lonergan got sent off very late on. And Bowles will be happy, though. They should be happy. If you're a Bowles fan, you should be happy, because 3-1 down at half-time, 10 men, they're falling apart last season. There's a spirit in this team, and they could have even nicked a point here in the end. As I said, Pats won't be happy with their second half performance, but be delighted with the win overall. It's a big win for them. Bulls are top, Pats are second at the moment, which is surprising, I suppose, after 10 matches. But really interesting game, and really enjoyable game, it has to be said, if you're a neutral in particular, and could see the game or were at Dalymount. Very enjoyable game. Then on Saturday we had, who did we have? Sligo Rovers and Drogheda United at a very windy showgrounds. Pitch wasn't in great condition either, as you'd expect, with the conditions and that. But Ryan Brennan, who just became a father earlier on in the week, gave Drogheda the lead in 52 minutes with a scrappy goal. Sligo will not be happy to defend him for that goal. Very poor defending. Max Mata then equalised in 63 after a good play from Hutchison, gets a good cross into the box, good cross for the ball, Hutchison. I don't think it's the first time he set up Mata, particularly for a header. And Mata finishes with aplomb with his header, inch perfect cross, as I said, and 7 goals this season, top scorer in the league. But Drogheda the chances after that, Ryan Brennan, although he scored, he might be disappointed he didn't grab another. He had a couple of chances now to grab a goal, and Dylan Grimes went close as well. And the chances after that, and probably look more likely to win it after that, Drogheda. That's Drogheda on the road this season have been very good. They've drawn away to Sligo, drawn away to Cork, and they have beaten Derry in their last 3 away games. Something they weren't great at last season. I think they won once away from home last season as well, and had some hefty defeats. But I think the fact that the defence is generally stronger, that helps them on the road as well. But they'd be delighted with their start, Drogheda. Sligo inconsistent like a lot of teams, but although both teams are on 13 points, I think Drogheda would be the more happy with that, to be honest with you. They had a shoestring budget at the start of the season. They recruited very well with the budget they had, and they're a good side and they work very hard. Sligo will be disappointed not to win at home, to be honest. They would have been looking to get the 3 points and get closer to those European positions. Not too far off, obviously only 3 points off Derry, but only 4 points out of Cork. So it's an interesting one. But finished Sligo 1. Drogheda 1 at the showgrounds. Dundalk, if you're a betting man, if you're not a betting man or a betting lady, 2-2 is a common result between Dundalk and Derry at the Oriel Park. I don't know why, but Ben Doherty giving Derry the lead in 44 minutes with a lovely strike to give them, obviously the lead, put them 1-0 up at Oriel, and you're thinking, is this going to be Dundalk's third defeat in the bounce at Oriel this season? Going into the game, obviously Dundalk were 8th in the league as well. But a mental few minutes where Robbie Benson 71 and Jonas Yeel Koku, who came on, I think came on half time maybe, and 72. A minute later, 2 goals within a minute, had put Dundalk 2-1 up. Incredible scenes. But in 80 minutes, Cian Kavanagh came on to score his first goal of the season, I believe, and get a draw for Derry. Derry would be disappointed as such, because they want to kind of, they really feel that they should be challenging for the title, and with Shamrock Rovers kind of struggling a little bit, have they missed the opportunity to be further ahead of Shamrock Rovers, I suppose. But they'd be delighted to see Michael Duffy back. Adam O'Reilly was back for this game. Duffy didn't start though, but the next couple of weeks he should be starting. Adam O'Reilly was back for the game, so they're big pluses for them. As for Dundalk, Benson was back, so that's a massive plus, and obviously he was on the score sheet. I believe Hubin was on the bench, not totally sure if he came on actually, but I believe he was on the bench. Might be able to find out here actually very quickly. No, it doesn't say. But yeah, anyway, Hubin will be back in the next few weeks. He'll be playing anyway as well. Williams was sent off 4 minutes ago for Dundalk as well. And the point, he'll be happy with the point. I don't know. I think Dundalk might be a little bit. They're on 12 points, 8th in the league. But again, they're only 4 points off Derry City, 5 points off Pats, who play Shamrock Rovers and Derry next. So you know what I mean? A couple of weeks it could be ahead of Pats, that kind of way. That's the way the league is this season, very strange. But Derry on 16 points, a point ahead of Shamrock Rovers, 5 off Bows, 4 wins, 4 draws, 2 defeats. They'll be a bit disappointed. They're missing Mark Connolly as well, badly as well. I think Dunnigan has been out, but I think Connolly and Duffy have been massive losses for them. O'Reilly back in now as well, so they'll be hoping to get some of those players back in the coming weeks. And I still believe themselves and Rovers are the best squad in the league. When it comes to the crunch, it'll probably be between the two of them. But the longer the league is like this, I mean, if you look at the league at the moment, Bohemians 21 on top, Pats 17, Derry 16, Shamrock Rovers 15, Shelbourne 13, Sligo 13, Drogheda 13, Dundalk 12, Cork 9, UCD 5. It's very exciting, isn't it? It's very exciting and unpredictable, and that's the brilliant thing about the league.
this season. I think most people will suggest. So I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And thanks for watching. See you later. Bye bye.